Hey, I'm Jeff.
I'm Rob.
Bart.
And thanks for tuning in to the Off-Road Toolbox. Here we are live at the Off-Road Toolbox World Headquarters in Daytona Beach. World Headquarters. We're worldwide. Yes. Now, if you're watching us at our official Jeep Beach page on YouTube. And that, Jeff, is?
At Jeep Beach Official.
That's right. That's right. You got it right. All right. We got to practice that. Now, for those of you who are listening to us, you can see us on that YouTube channel. For those of you watching us on that YouTube channel, you can listen to us on your
favorite place where you get your podcasts.
Favorite podcast platform. So, again, thanks for tuning in. You guys ready for the show?
Always, man.
Yep.
We're doing it.
It's now time for another episode of the Off-Road Toolbox. A Jeepers guide to everything off-road. Powered by Best Price Trailers.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Off-Road Toolbox. We want to thank our sponsors. Who is that? Let's see.
Dodge,
Daytona.
Yes.
The Dye
Corporation. The big place with
the big place.
Randy's Place.
Randy's Place with the Daytona Garage.
Daytona Garage. We've got Best Price Trailers.
Yes.
And then we got B&B
Fasteners. Great people. All of them are great people.
Yes. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have this. So, all right, Bart. So what are we going to dive into today?
So I was looking for different topics to talk, and I came across, and it's called CPW truck stuff. But what caught my eye was CPW is out of Illinois, and they were a snowplow. They repaired and did installation of snowplows, and then because of that, they got into their own off-road stuff because it was Jeeps and trucks. So they came out with a list, and they started in 1990, but they came out with a list of suggested extra items, and so I printed their list, and they're pretty close to the stuff that we always recommend.
Yeah, when you sent that over, I was kind of going through it, and I was like, dang. This is kind of the same stuff that we've talked about.
Air compressor, cold air intake, which is common, alternators, and we've talked about alternators because when you have, better batteries or you're going to do the wench and everything else, having a, something better than stock alternator helps.
Yes.
Either the bed liner or the bed rug or the bed, redoing inside of like with Jeeps, because Jeeps get wet. I got rid of my factory carpet fairly well, and I went with bed rug.
Bed rug, I did too.
But they made bed rug and bed tread. But those things are better. Some people pull everything out and rhino line and everything, but then it gets super hot. You get a lot of heat transfer.
There is a chemical out there that is heat resistant. Mm-hmm. It acts as a shield. I think it's called lizard skin.
Lizard skin. I've heard of lizard skin.
Yeah.
And I have something different. It's basically spray painted. It's something was on beforehand, and then it was spray painted over. And Bart, you mentioned heat, and it gets really hot in there.
And that's why I like the bed rug or the bed tread, because it makes
helps.
Especially if you travel with it and you go all over the place. What else do we got here? Of course, all the different types of tops you can get for a Jeep. And so hard tops, soft tops, bikini tops, bimini tops. You can get so many different tops for a Jeep. That's good.
But we got to make sure we go to Spiderweb to get our tops.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong.
Those guys, I tell you what, those guys down there, they rock.
Yes, they do.
You walk in there with an idea, they can pump it out for you. My daughter's got it. So, make sure you check in on them too. So.
Body armor, because if you don't stay off the trees and rocks, you're going to need it. A bottle opener, which I think is funny, but they actually have bottle openers built into your bumper on some of them, or some people put them in there. So if that's your thing, let's see. Of course, front and rear bumpers. Another interesting thing was the different camping tents you can get for your Jeep or your truck or your Gladiator. Some go in the back, some come off to the side. So, again, for the people who want to go out camping, hiking, or one of our future shows talking about going to remote areas.
Oh, yeah.
So, again, a nice little topic, whether you put a rooftop tent or you do the whole one of our people at Jeep Beach did the bed inside the Jeep.
The bed inside the Jeep.
Remember that? The mattress, the inflatable mattress?
Oh, yeah. Jeep bed.
Yes. And that's kind of cool. It's just all those things. Cargo netting, which is kind of good, especially if you have animals, or kids. You don't want them flying around. Having cargo netting. Seat covers of all types. Very common with Jeeps. Some people get leather, or you can get all the different. You can keep the original, which is going to get sun faded. They get wet, but the Jeep covers help a lot.
I went with Bartek. That's probably the better of the ones out there.
They're pricey.
They're pricey, but you know what? I like them.
That's all that matters. Talking about communications, whether you do the MGRS, the ham, or CB radio, just the neat thing about the off-road community is the coolers. Whether you put them on the back, you put them in the bed, you put them inside. Having a cooler is pretty good.
And then you even came up with the singles and the double that you can plug in that run off a battery.
Yes.
So that's great for if you're going on the weekend adventure. If you're just going out for a day, just take an ice box. Dash cam.
I have one.
I have multiples.
Yes. Well, I have one just for everyday driving because, one, I don't go very fast because I have a 3.8. But just in the event of an accident, I have hey, I didn't do it.
It wasn't my fault.
Yes, and I can show, hey, I wasn't flying, believe it or not. All types of accessories for your phone they recommend, and which is good. You don't want your cell phone flying around, so having some type of, whether you pull out on top of the radio and you put the one in there, or you put all the little CMM? They make mounts for it. They're one of our big people. CCM. They make some great stuff. So, I mean, it's interesting.
CMM, I'm sorry.
CMM, sorry.
Carolina Metal Masters.
Yeah, they're out of Tennessee now. That's why they're CMM.
With Jeeps, all types of decals, which is kind of cool. They recommended. The deck lid for security and keeping your storage. I like that. I have, actually mine's out because I'm getting ready to do a course, which I have to take all my off-road stuff and then put in all my maritime stuff, which is a lot of maritime stuff. I got mannequins, target stands, buoys, anchors. So you pull everything out. And that's the nice thing with my deck lid is I can pull it all out, fold my seat forward, and then I have all my storage space back.
Which one do you have?
I have the Tuffy box.
Okay.
The one from them. And like I said, with the exception of the two side pieces, everything else comes out. Like I said, I got full access to my Jeep again.
Yeah, it's like the Diabolical. That's the one I went with for my significant other's Jeep.
And you like it?
I haven't put it in yet.
Oh, okay. I've had mine for years because of some of the stuff I do carry, you just don't want out. And also, when you take the top and doors off, you want a place to secure your gear.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's pretty good. Kind of like all that stuff. Dog harnesses. So probably if you're riding top and door off, or some people always have some type of harness on their dog for safety reasons. So a dog harness is pretty good. Again, back to the cargo net. But if you take your top and doors off, yeah, I would probably say, because if the dog gets excited, you don't need it jumping out.
Yeah, not at 50 miles an hour.
You don't, or even 25, or
25.
Even in your neighborhood. Going slow in your neighborhood, your dog sees that squirrel and it's gone.
Yeah. Door hangers.
The door hangers, again, for taking the doors off.
And there's a whole bunch of them out there. There's cart. There's the ones that you hang on your wall.
Yes.
I mean, the stuff that we have for our Jeeps is just astronomical.
Yep. At some point, upgrading your drive shaft, and you keep your Jeep long enough. Like, I'm 214,000 miles now, so I actually had to go in and replace my drive shafts. Let's see, door hinges, exhaust systems, upgrading your exhaust system, roof racks, and fender flares. All the stuff that we talk about is kind of neat. That a company that started in 1990. Doing snowplows, installing them, repairing them, selling them, has grown, and now they're big into the off-road community and Jeep market.
And they actually recognize what things are needed.
Yes.
Not just, here, buy this because we want you to buy it.
Yes.
It's actually things that do work the way they're supposed to.
And it's nice that when we talk about things, and it kind of validates everything we say, and we suggest, hey, there's somebody else that's saying the same thing. Yeah. So it's just kind of cool that it's just, again, a small mom and pop place started.
And that's
just kind of cool.
That's what we love. So now with the equipment, how'd your tires go?
Oh, my bead locks. That was interesting. I think I got my bead locks 6 or 7 years ago. 80, 90, almost 90,000 miles on my KO2s. On them, so I finally replaced them more out of dry rot than the tread. So but what's interesting, I got KO3s, and my Jeep doesn't drive. They're a little softer. I have to figure it out. My Jeep.
Chalk test them yet?
This is just all recent because I'm so slow and old. So usually doing a Jeep, so when I had to place my TP mesh sensors. So I pulled them off, and you got 18 bolts. You got to take the air out first. You got to completely deflate your tire. Then you got to take off these 18 bolts, and then you got to break, the bead lock apart. And so last time I did it, I was like, an hour and a half a wheel. By the time I did it, took it off the car, took it all apart, put it all back together and air out. Well, now I'm like 2.5 hours. Just so old. And all my injuries. So it was, 3 wheels took me a little over 6.5 hours with back spasms. And those tires are heavy. So I'm dwarf tossing these 80, 90 pound things back and forth, flipping them over, prying them up. So it was fun. So I got them out.
So you got a CrossFit workout?
Oh, I got more than that.
I think he got a little bit more than that.
I really, so I can only do 3 in one day, believe it or not. Yeah, and that's with brakes. I had to have extended brakes to stop the spasms. And then the next day, Father's Day, I got it. And then my stepson comes out when I'm almost done and goes, "Hey, can I help you?"
Does it? It's always that way.
So the only thing he had left to do was put the 18 bolts back on and tighten them. But it helped. I mean, at that point, it helped. But it's different. I'm trying to figure out the air pressure on it, if that makes a difference.
Now, if you were to go and have those put on, how much would that have cost?
I bet you, because they're going to charge you, an hourly rate. And probably a shop mechanic can do it in an hour, but there's 5 of them. So whatever their shop rate is. So if they're charging $100 an hour for shop labor, that's $500. Mm-hmm. I mean, I did it in my garage. Don't get me wrong. Fans are on.
Yeah, it can be done.
Well, again, if I didn't have all my injuries, where I get spasms, or actually next time it would be a team assembly, like somebody takes them off, roll over to the next person, air it down, do this. If we could have done it, and if I would have had a little more help, we probably would have done it in about an hour each tire. It would have been a lot smoother. But doing all the lifting, hauling, because I had to store the tires till I could get to it, hauling the tires out of the shed, everything just wasn't
Nothing
easy.
fell in place like it was supposed to.
No. And then I still have one that won't hold over 25 PSI. And it doesn't show a leak. So hopefully I didn't pinch the O-ring, because when you take these things apart, you have the inner and outer, metal part. You have the inside bead, which is fun to put in sometimes. And then you have an O-ring that goes on that seats the two, yeah. So,
and you got Hutchison's.
I got Hutchison's. They're DOT approved.
Right, they're a little bit different than the ones that you see out there for $300 or $400.
Oh yeah, and it was funny because I had to go get the wheels balanced, and the guy goes, I explain everything to him. He goes, "Yeah, we'll fix it for you." I said, "No, not $100 an hour." I said, "Just tell me if you can find where the leak is," and they couldn't. It's not leaking through the tire, it's not leaking through the valve stem, so I'll spray some more stuff. But it doesn't go below 25 PSI. But when I air it up to like 38, by the morning, it's back down to 20. Down. It's just kind of weird. And I actually put it on and drove it to see maybe it needed to be seated, maybe it needed
a little heat to it
or something. But no.
Maybe one of the bolts, the 18 bolts.
I did those. I double checked
every one of those were fine?
Yeah, 100. Yeah.
So it may be.
You got to torque them down to 100.
It may be worth taking it off and redoing the whole thing again.
Do you know how much pain that is?
I understand. Well, now, you know what? You get your stepson and actually have him do the work for you. At least take it apart and then you can look at it.
Look at it, do it again.
You are an instructor, so
I could teach him. Yeah, I could teach him. And he was there for, like I said, the 20 minutes to finish, And seriously, it was the 18 bolts he put on and like, "Oh, is this it?" Like, "Oh, yeah, All right, yeah, this was fun."
So I did the stupid thing. Well, I didn't do a stupid thing. I was smart.
Okay.
I was going to put the lift in by myself.
Yep. I wouldn't have, yeah.
No. So I took it over to our folks over there at Destination Daytona, 4x4, had them put it in.
Yep. Looks good. What a night and day difference in your vehicle from stock to what you did.
Oh,
and the bigger tires. It really changed the whole look of it.
And when I had the tires, I thought they were 37s. I've remeasured them. I re-looked at nope, they're 35s.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's weird. It's like they're tall, but then I started thinking, I was like, well, wait a second, 15-inch rim, 17-inch rim. It's another 2 inches, whether we like it or not.
Okay.
So that's the illusion that I'm seeing.
It's just funny. I'm glad you got them all done.
Me too.
It looks good. It really does look good.
The lift's only been sitting there for a year and a half.
Oh, wow. So when I measured my old tires to my new tires, they wore down about 1.25 inches.
Wow.
and still plenty of tread. But when I
Yeah.
put them side by side, the KO2
You
next
can
to
tell
the
the
KO3,
difference.
I measured it. I put it on like, whoa, okay, it's interesting. And they still had plenty of tread.
Wow.
So we put them out to the curb, and somebody came and picked them up, and they're going to put them under a Bubba truck going out in the woods, I bet you.
More than likely.
Because there's still plenty of good tread. It's just age was getting to them and mileage.
At a certain point, you got to say enough is enough.
That's what I did, and that's why I waited. And like I said, but I'm just waiting to see if I might have to email BF Goodrich if I can't get the PSI right to get the ride right, because it was on the interstate this morning. It was drifting a little bit. I'm like, I'm not used to that with the KO2s. I mean, I had 2 sets of KO2s, 70,000 on the first set, and probably at least 80,000 on this. So you're looking at 150,000 miles on KOs, and I didn't have any wandering, drifting.
Maybe just a softer tire, softer compound.
They said it was softer, but
and that would do it.
I don't know. I'm not liking it. I don't know. I got to take two. Again, I'm used to driving one hand and everything else.
Now
Like,
you're
well,
white knuckling it.
No, it's kind of different, And especially as the speed increases, it was.
It's worse.
It was, yeah. Yeah. And tires are balanced, no vibration, no nothing. Right. The alignment's good, everything's good. The only thing that changed was the tire.
Well, we'll have to check back in with that.
We will. And I hate if I have to go back to KO2s. I just hate taking them apart.
Well, you're going to have to get somebody else to help you with that.
I will. I'm going to bring it to one of our shops. We have so many great people that help us that they could look at it and double check it and tell me, hey, knucklehead, you did something. But it's holding air, so I know my tires are good, with the exception of the one. So that's it.
All right. Anything new from you, sir?
I'm fine. I'm still looking. I'm just I'm always checking. I'm always looking. I'm looking at all
You're
time.
not being serious.
I did find one. There's a Rubicon, 2020 Rubicon. Right. It's on the other side of the state. 55,000 miles. It's 2-door. I'm looking for.
That's what you want.
And he's asking 23 for it. That's not bad. That's
not
low.
bad.
You're not going to find anything lower than that. Not with 55,000 miles.
No.
Some of the ones that have a whole lot more are still asking a ton of money.
without a doubt.
Close to $30,000.
Yeah.
Easy. Easy. So that's what the Jeep does. It holds its value. So take care of them. Keep the maintenance going. Keep them running.
True.
Don't beat them up.
Nope.
And with that, guys, y'all have a great day. We'll see you here next time.
Thank you.
And there you have it. Don't you feel smarter now? We'll drop more knowledge on you soon. Thanks for listening to the Off-Road Toolbox, powered by Best Price Trailers.